You want to know the reason why people are not successful, the reason why you're not successful, the reason why people have not made their dreams come true, the reason why people are not able to reach their goals, the goals that they have set for themselves. There's one simple reason for that. And that is because they don't believe. That's because you don't believe. There's something very powerful about belief. I mean, have you seen the things that people are able to do when they just believe? It's amazing what people can do when they just believe. I spent some time in Iraq when I was in the military, and while I was over there, I was able to see some magnificent things and I was able to see some horrible things. But I was always amazed at what people were able to accomplish and what people were willing to accomplish just simply based off of what they believe. I saw people fighting a war when they knew they were going to lose. They literally didn't have anything. They were throwing rocks at tanks because they believed in something. I saw people blowing themselves up because they believed in something. And then on the other side, I saw people ready and willing to fight, ready to give their lives for their country because they believed in something. And I said, wow, look at what people are able to do, for better or worse, when they believe in something. There are people who live for a belief. There are people who die for belief. There are people who would devote their whole lives to something that they believe in. With everything that they have, with every fiber of their being, they will defend that belief against anything that tries to take them off of the path that they believe that they're on. There are people who will kill for their beliefs, and there are people who will die for their beliefs. And so my question is, what would your life look like if you had that same type of belief in yourself? What would your life look like if you would be willing to live and die for something that you believe in? For a goal that you have set for your life. Unfortunately, so many of us do this, but we believe the wrong things about ourselves. I was raised in a society that gave me the belief that I was worth nothing just because of the color of my skin. While I was in the streets, the only thing they taught me was that the only thing that I could produce was babies. And that most men who looked like me probably wouldn't even take care of those babies. And even my own family. When I told them my goals, when I told them my dreams, they laughed at me. You see, what you believe becomes your reality. And people will always put things into you. They will always tell you things to make you believe something that is untrue. If you allow them to, they'll make you believe that you're not good enough. If you allow them to, they'll make you believe that you're not smart enough. If you allow them to, they'll make you believe that everything that you want to accomplish, everything that you have been put here to accomplish, you cannot do. And if you believe that, it will become your reality. You don't believe in yourself the way that you should. What if you were able to take the strength of belief, the positives of belief, and put it into your goals and your dreams? What would you be able to accomplish with that? What would you be able to do? What would you be able to build? What would your relationships look like? What would you look like? What would your bank account look like? What would your current situations look like if you were able to use the power of belief to your benefit instead of your detriment? What would your life look like? Most people's beliefs die with them because somebody told them that their beliefs were ridiculous. Belief is stronger than knowing. As crazy as that sounds, belief is stronger than knowing. Belief is stronger than logic and reasoning. Because logic and reasoning will tell you sometimes that whatever you want to do, whatever your goal and your dream is impossible. But there was a time when every single invention that you see right now was impossible to somebody. It was unthinkable. Belief has to be stronger than logic and reasoning for you to grow. It has to be stronger than logic and reasoning for you to achieve your dreams. Belief is stronger than knowing. It has to be. There are people who know that their current disposition in life is miserable. There are people who know that they are living a life slowly tiptoeing safely to death. There are people who know that their relationship is causing them harm and that is toxic, but they're doing nothing about it. There are people who know that there is greatness inside of them. There are people who know that there's strength inside of them. But because they don't believe, they do nothing to change their lives. You've got to believe in yourself. Even when nobody else does, especially when nobody else does, you've got to be able to look into the mirror and see someone who will advocate for you and say, I believe in you, even when nobody else does. And when you can achieve that level of belief, there is nothing that you can't do. Listen to me. When you achieve that level of belief, there is nothing that you cannot do. You've got to be able to self-motivate. You can't depend on your family to do it for you. You can't depend on your friends to do it for you. You can't depend on your followers to do it for you. Sometimes you've got to do it for yourself. Just believe. Because belief is stronger than knowing. You know who you are. You know where you are in life. But you don't have to stay there if that's not good enough for you. You got to believe that you deserve better and let that belief be the fuel that powers you to the future that you deserve.